live. Yeah, we're going live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. How you all doing? So, yeah. So the Yankees are getting ready. It's going to be a war. Houston's ready. The Twins are ready. Oakland and the Rays are ready. The Dodgers are ready on the National League. Everybody's going to sleep on the Yankees, and we're coming. Yankees are coming in a big way. I'm telling you. I can feel it. Man, I tell you, we have pitching. Nobody wants to be honest. The amount of pitching the Yankees have. Nobody wants to be honest. Nobody wants to be honest about the Yankee pitching. If we think about it, we go 8 because it's all going to be about the bullpen. Our everyday players are savages. All Booney has to do is be a savage with the pitches. Let Rothschild be the nice guy, and he's the savage. Stay out of the big inning. That's it. That's it. And it's a wrap, right? We got savages. We got Chapman, Britton, Big O, Kaylee, right? Chad Green, right? Jonathan Loizaga is throwing 100 miles an hour. Then we got Sevy, so that's 7. Paxton and Tanaka. And then you throw in Hap, that's 9, right? If I'm right. No, maybe, 7, 9. CC's 10. Could you imagine? That's 10. Could you imagine if we had Betances, a healthy Betances, and Domingo Germán? Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I'm sick and tired of everybody telling me Yankees have no pitching. In the playoffs, either you got 2 studs like the Diamondbacks did, and they beat the Yankees. They beat us, the great Yankee team in 2001, with Schilling and Randy Johnson. They won 3 games between the both of them, right? And I think 1 save. I mean, that's how good they were. Either you got 2 Bulldogs like that, or you got more pitching than the other team. And we got abundance of pitching. Abundance. So all Booney's got to do is stay out of the big innings and let the savages take over, because the Yankee hitters are savages. Keep the game close, because eventually somebody's going to run into something, and then we got a big inning. And that's how we do. That's the Yankees. The Giants, hey, Daniel Jones, God bless him. This kid, I don't know, man. This kid may be the goods, right? I'm telling you, even though we beat the Skins are a last place team, this kid may be the goods. And the New York Knicks, we're going to get to the Knicks. They open up, I'm a Knicks fan. They open up in October next month, right around the corner. We're getting into the playoffs, the New York Knicks. So that's my take on my sports take. Now, moving to our great president, Donald John Trump, we talked about in the last show about this whole thing, the Democrats are ginning up all this stuff. Fox News tonight was on fire. They did a great job. Unbelievable. I'm working on some things with my show. I'm getting feedback from some interesting outlets, interesting networks. So we'll see over the next few weeks, not too distant future, where we're going to, I'd love to be back on the radio, but for the grace of God Almighty, absolutely. So I got some things percolating. So the next few days, we'll see. And if it's real and then we'll talk about it. So our great president, Donald John Trump. President Trump, he went through what he went through with Mueller. I mean, this is just another with the Mueller investigation. This is another thing. That's all. President Trump, the Dems could do what the heck they want because they're done. Okay. What up, Debbie? How are you, Debbie? God bless you. The Dems are done, right? So I'm watching these shows. I'm watching Martha McCullum's show. I was watching Tucker Carlson's show. I watched Sean Hannity. I took a peek at Laura Ingraham. These are great shows. They were on fire tonight. Rudy Giuliani. I mean, President Trump is ready for war. He's got a war chest. I think he raised $15 million in 72 hours. This guy I believe, I think he's like General Patton reincarnated. I swear. He looks like Patton. I think he's General Patton reincarnated because he's ready for war. It's going to be a bloodbath. They may even have a hearing. but President Trump is going to win. I'm telling you, but for the grace of God Almighty, God's grace, President Trump is winning. The hand of God was on Trump at 16, and the hand of God is on Trump again. I'm telling you, President Trump is going to win. It's either going to be the hashtag Trump 2020 landslide, which I believe, and/or it's going to be like 2016. President Trump gets 300 plus electoral votes, and it's a wrap. So, with all that being said, right? Everybody's, and making things up. And did you see stuff with Schiff they had on Fox News calling up, taking calls from Russian officials, trying to dig up dirt on President Trump? It's beyond belief, right? Stuff is beyond belief what goes on with these Democrats. Making up stuff and everybody jumping. Oh, yeah. Now all of a sudden, maybe we got it right, Hillary Clinton is now the truth sayer. The most corrupt, the Clintons and Obamas, the most corrupt politicians I know. I mean, beyond belief, right? Liars, fraudsters, everything. So I'm watching Fox News, and all for the last 3-4 hours. And something came on the TV, and I'm like, what the heck is going on over here? China man accused of spying for China. With all this going on, the United States government is busting a California man who operated tours for Chinese students and visitors has been arrested, according to Fox News. Accused of spying for the People's Republic of China. The arrest was part of an FBI sting operation that targeted Chinese intelligence operatives in the United States who were delivering national security information to China. Crazy. This guy, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, said this guy Edward Ping, I don't know just what his name is, would secure hotel rooms where he gave a double agent cash in exchange for classified information on data cards. This California man, I don't know if he's born in he's a U.S. naturalized, is a naturalized U.S. citizen. 56, was arrested, ordered, held without bond. According to a criminal complaint in the Northern District of California, Peng is a naturalized U.S. citizen who entered the United States on a temporary business visitor visa and became a permanent resident in 2006. He was naturalized in September of 12. According to the Assistant Attorney General, John Demers, Peng's arrest exposes and disrupts an operation by those Chinese intelligence officers to collect such information without having to step a foot in this country. Now, I haven't gone into the tech spying by China, and we will over the next few days, because this is really, see, I like to drill down into the nucleus to see what's really going on. So hold on to this for a second, because this started to percolate. So I went through my vectors, and I found a vector that might start to bring us to where we are today. The Bill Clinton administration plus the Obama-Clinton crime family equals nuclear espionage. Now, I got this. I've been, these are the vectors. These are the vectors, and I had this on my show, and I blogged this on frankierusso.media, americasteam.today.nyc. So I'm looking at this thing, right? So let's look at this, right? Everybody right now, right? The DNC and the rhinos, the Justin Amashes, the Jeff Flakes, the Mitt Romneys are against our great president, Donald John Trump. Why? Right? So let's look at this. The Clinton administration, let's look at this, right? China. Who takes a hard line with China? President Trump. Who's in bed with China? Bill Clinton. Security breach at Los Alamos National Lab. A Taiwanese scientist during the Bill Clinton administration right? Downloads nuclear codes to an unknown location. Real. He failed the polygraph. We had this on my show up here in Brooklyn. This is real. Security breach at Los Alamos National Lab. So, and then the DOE, Clinton's DOE, Hazel O'Leary and Bill Richardson, they all covered it up. Bill Clinton's trying to get in with China. So they covered this whole thing up. And it ended up at the end, they were so concerned about this guy, they didn't know where he put the codes. This is where we build our nuclear weapons. They were so concerned to this guy, they held him, and he ended up suing the United States government for discrimination. And according to Arlen Specter, the senator of the Oversight Committee at the time, granted, he sued for racial discrimination or whatever, but the truth be told, he downloaded the data from the nuclear computers, the nuclear servers with all our nuclear data to an unknown location. That's a fact, okay? So who's in bed with China? Obama Clinton crime family just took the mantle from Bill Clinton and just let China do what the hell they wanted with the trade deficit and everything. President Trump comes in, boom, he's going after China. First one, right? Next one. The Bill Clinton administration, the Obama Clinton crime family, Iran. Oh my God, right? Barack Hussein Obama said, wait a second, Bill, you did China? You gave North Korea, by the way, I didn't say this. Bill Clinton gave North Korea $4 billion in energy aid. $4 billion in energy aid. After all, North Korea's got what? Concentration camps? They're killing their family. They're whacking their families, right? And they took the $4 billion. They said, oh, yeah, we're going to give it to the people. Yeah, right. They proliferated. They got miniaturized nuclear warheads for its long-term ballistic missile program. Hello, Juliet. How are you? God bless you. So that's under the Bill Clinton administration. The Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton administration, it was a co-presidency. They gave $150 billion back to Iran. Oh, it was the Hague. They gave Iran gave us 40 million, I don't know, 400 million, 40 million, 400 million for jet fighters. After all, Iran did take a 50 plus American hostages. So we held the money. We're not giving it to these terrorists, right? Obama said the Hague says we got to give it back. And then he went so far, he brought Iran into our banking system and money laundered 1.7 billion from cash to euros and gave it to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, right? What's President Trump doing in Iran? He's squeezing Iran. He got out of the Iranian nuke deal and he's squeezing Iran, right? He's hurting Iran in the pocket with their oil. By hurting Iran in the pocket with their oil, who else is President Trump hurting? Russia. Okay. So we got President Trump banging out China, President Trump banging out Iran, President Trump banging out Russia, right? Wait, right? And the Obama Clinton crime family and Bill Clinton are in bed with them. I think Hunter Biden is just the tip of the iceberg. Because check it out. What did President Trump do with Israel? Jerusalem's the capital of Israel, right? Obama Clinton crime family, they hate Israel. They wanted to go back to the 67 borders. Truth be told. This is no coincidence, my peeps, right? President Trump is hitting them hard, right? So they're making stuff up. They're trying to stop them, but they ain't going to be able to. But for the grace of God Almighty, right? Truth be told. And look at it, right? We are infiltrated. Now you can call Russo's a Islamophobic, xenophobic. I don't even know what these words mean. Neocon, white supremacist, whack job. I've been called since my days at 77 WABC, which I hope will come back. Right? But check it out. Who's taking over the DNC, the Democratic National Committee? Keith Ellison is the vice chair. He swore in under the Quran. Tom Ellison's a stealth jihad radical Islamist. He was head of the Civil Rights Division in the DOJ. Oh my God, this guy is a stealth jihad radical Islamist, right? And who's now the new face of the DNC? Is CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations. Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Tlaib. President Trump is pro-Israel, pro-America. They're anti-Israel, anti-America. The Palestinian Hamas wing of the Black Congressional Caucus. They don't represent the Martin Luther King side of the civil rights movement of the Black Congressional Caucus, the Christian side, which I am supportive of. Okay? So there's no accident that the DNC and these rhino Republicans are doing what they're doing against our great President Donald Trump. There's no accident here. President Trump is doing an amazing job for this nation, both economically, both homeland security, both foreign policy, both home and abroad. He's strengthened our military. He's knocked the regulations down and put our energy on steroids. And we're not beholden to the North African, Middle Eastern region for oil because of our great President Donald John Trump. Now, to give you an idea of what I meant by nuclear espionage, I'm going to go back now to this because I'm getting off the air. I'm not going to be on as long as I usually am. I'm going to try not to be on, right? So here it is. Under the Clinton administration, there was a security breach at Los Alamos National Lab. We spoke about that, right? That's where the scientists downloaded the nuclear codes onto an unknown location, and at the very least, the Bill Clinton administration stonewalled, covered it up because he wanted to gain, because he had this big China summit and he wanted to gain more inroads into China to get the China dough. Okay. In addition, in the Bill Clinton administration, there were 15 to 100, according to the New York Times, White House aides with no security clearance. In addition, Aldridge Ames, a CIA operative, Russian mole to the KGB, was busted during the Clinton regime. So they had a Russian KGB agent inside the Clinton CIA. In addition, the former CIA director, Deutsch, had 3151 classified docs on a computer in his house. He lost his security clearance he was a CIA director for Bill Clinton. This is how sloppy, probably intentionally sloppy, the security clearances, the security of our data was under the Bill Clinton administration, right? 51, something like that, 31 docs on a computer in his house. This John Deutsch. He's a former MIT professor, right? His security clearance got revoked. He had Bill Clinton so bad that Bill Clinton, before he left, what did he do? He pardoned him. That's how bad. He had the goods on Clinton. He was probably worried he was going to talk, right? Then they had this whistleblower of the security breach of Los Alamos National Lab, this guy Trulock, right? He said he gave the FBI, between the FBI and the Department of Energy, it was like a political charade. What was going on with this DOE and this Taiwanese scientist that downloaded the nuclear codes to an unknown location? It was a disaster. And the whistleblower called him out. He said he gave the FBI 10 to 12 leads on this guy, the scientist. Holy, I mean, unbelievable, right? And then, in addition, this Sandina National Lab in New Mexico, another lab, there's another lab where we build our nuclear weapons. The DOE, Department of Energy, inside the Bill Clinton administration, sold a $9 million supercomputer for $30,000 to a Chinese national who exports electronics to Beijing. This all happened under the Clinton administration. And then when you add what happened under the Obama-Clinton crime family, where Hillary Clinton's security clearance was revoked. In addition, the FBI rewrote federal statutes to make Hillary Clinton eligible as they had Ross Perot, that an informant inside of Ross Perot's campaign to stop HW, and because Bill Clinton was the darling of the intelligence agencies, as was Barack Hussein Obama. In addition, Obama knew and received emails from the Hillary Clinton server in the basement of her house where she was running her own intelligence agency, conceivably materials supporting Ansar al-Sharia with money and weapons and training, al-Qaeda foreign fighters that go back to the Afghan Taliban versus the Soviet Union. 10 to 11 years removed from September 11, 2001, the Obama-Clinton crime family is arming al-Qaeda foreign fighters. And who's al-Qaeda? Al-Qaeda is the militant branch of Muslim Brotherhood. Osama bin Laden, Ayman al-Zawahiri, Anwar al-Awlaki, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Muhammad Atta, Omar Abdel Rahman, Muslim Brotherhood operatives. In addition, the Obama-Clinton crime family transferred 20% of U.S. nuclear assets to a Russian energy agency. As Hillary Clinton, Eric Holder, and Bill Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama were sitting on the U.S. Foreign Investments Committee, voting okay to the transfer of 20% of our U.S. nuclear assets to a Russian energy agency, the investors in Uranium One, according to the Clinton cash book, were putting in $145 million into the Clinton Foundation coffers. Oh my God, right? All this money. In addition, Russia and Iran are building nuclear reactors. Last time I checked, they're on the second to third one. I think they got a deal for 8. I checked, they were on 2. They're building nuclear reactors inside of Iran. Russia's got the nuclear scientists. Iran's got the dough from the $150 billion that Obama gave them, and the $1.7 billion that he gave to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Guaranteed. Obama, but that's what I mean. The Hunter Biden transaction, they're talking about 50,000 for the month. They're talking about 2-3 million. I'm talking with the, are you kidding? This is what happened. Straight up. This is what happened in the Obama-Clinton crime family. Joe Biden, you got China, you got Ukraine. Do your thing. Me and Hillary, he said, him and Hillary, the Obama Foundation and the Clinton Foundation, they got Iran. You take 10% of the $150 billion, that's $15 billion. Take half of that. That's $7.5 billion. A point is $1.5 billion. 2 points is $3 billion in Islamic, in the Al Shalom Islamic Bank of Sudan, where his brother has a bank account with the coup dictator Omar al-Bashir, Muslim Brotherhood operatives. They got bank account in Al Shalom Bank, founded by Osama bin Laden. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Okay? That's the deal. Big money transaction, right? That's why Obama said to Joe Biden, you go to China. You got China. His son got some money from China. You go to Ukraine. You go to Ukraine. And he told Joe Biden, we got Iran. $3 billion. You better believe it. Between him and Hillary Clinton, there's no way that those OGs, those gangsters in the White House, the Obama Clinton crime family, there's no way that they didn't take points off that $150 billion that they fought so hard by. They went around the DOJ's counter-proliferation initiative, where they did all that work inside the DOJ department, where they had all these Iranian companies, these Iranian Americans, they were surveilling them throughout the world to see what foreign actors were helping Iran satisfy their nuclear proliferation thirsts. So they were getting these Iranian, some were Iranian Americans, some were Iranians from other countries, Iranian nationals that were getting them into friendly jurisdictions and arresting them, like they did with like they did with Riser Zarab. Riser Zarab was a Turkish Iranian national bribing Erdogan. Remember, we talked about this all the time. Gold trader bribing Erdogan from Turkey, his wife, his son, his son-in-law, millions of dollars. So he can use the Turkish banks. Erdogan opened up the Turkish banks. So he can funnel the money to the Turkish banks, money launder it to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. They got him in a friendly state. I forgot the state in America. And they arrested him. They arrested him. That's what the Counter-Proliferation Initiative did, because he was materially supporting the weapons of mass destruction inside of Iran. The Iranian Revolutionary, all that money was going to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, their long-term ballistic missile program, which was not included. That's another thing. The Iran's long-term ballistic missile program was not included in the Obama Clinton crime family's fake Iranian nuke deal. And that's what Lieutenant General Michael Flynn had the goods on them, and that's why they went after him. He had the goods, as the General Petraeus had the goods on them in Benghazi, and they went after him. He went after the generals that were not going along with them. And then you got the Project Cassandra, right? Project Cassandra. This was put out by the Politico. This guy Myers. I don't know his first. I think it's Zeth or Joel Myers. He wrote the Project Cassandra, where they were enabling Hezbollah to run their drug trafficking network throughout the world. Their global drug traffickers is Hezbollah, the Shiite terrorism arm of Iran. And they allowed drugs to come into America from the U.S.-Mexican border, people. There's a Hezbollah stockpile. So this whole thing is crazy. Crazy what's going on. And it's no accident that President Trump is pro-Israel, pro-America, fighting Iran, Russia, and China. Meanwhile, the Obama Clinton crime family is the complete opposite. Anti-America, anti-Israel, pro-Iran, pro-Russia, and pro-China. Right? And look at the leaders that are coming out on the DNC side. You got the Kamala Harrises. You got the Elizabeth Warren. Are you serious? You got the Bernie Sanders. They all hate Israel. And they all want to knock America down under the guise of they're filling the people with their heads with this socialism, which is just a lie. They're not going to do anything for the people. They're not going to do anything for the people. They didn't do anything for the people in the Senate, and they're not going to do anything for people with the grace of God, because they're not going to get into the White House. Our great president is going to get reelected. Hashtag Trump 2020 landslide. But this is what we're talking about over here. Very simple. I'm sitting back. I was blown away by this. California man accused of spying for China. I was just blown away by this. I can't tell you. And then I go back. I look at the vectors, and I look at the Bill Clinton administration. I mean, it was so bad that the American scientists in the late 90s and China rolled out their new nuclear warheads. They were dumbfounded. The American scientists could not believe it, that their nuclear warheads, the W-88, which is one of our most advanced nuclear warheads, the Chinese nuclear warheads look just like ours. So they stole the codes from us through this Taiwanese scientist that downloaded the nuclear codes to an unknown location. So this isn't the first time, is what I'm trying to say. And Hillary Rodham Clinton is very familiar with this. It happened under her husband's administration. So she's very familiar with this Chinese espionage. Beyond belief. So is it an accident that President Trump is pro-Israel, pro-America, anti-Iran, anti-Russia, and anti-China? In other words, he's fighting them. In other words, that's what I mean by anti. He's fighting them. He's not giving in to the trade deals with China. He's not giving in to Iran's demands. He's fighting Iran. And by fighting Iran and putting the squeeze on Iran, he's putting the squeeze on Russia. Because Russia's partnering with Iran. Iran's paying them a lot of dough to build those nuclear reactors, because they don't have the nuclear scientists. Russia does. Russia knows nukes. So this is beyond belief. And you got the stuff jihad radicalism is the DNC and those rhino rats, the Amashes and this is, I'm telling you, we're looking at, because right now the radicalismists are in the bushes. They got politicians now in power, swearing in under the Quran, and now they're changing the leadership. Now they're changing CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations. It's becoming the hub of the DNC, and they're propping up Congresswoman Omar and Congresswoman Tlaib. It is beyond belief what's going on over here. It's clear in plain sight, but because of all the noise, everybody sees the Ukraine, it's potatoes. Ukraine and Australia, yeah, oh yeah, sure, yeah. Just look at the Obama Clinton crime family. Where'd they make their money? Iran. What did President Trump do? Oh my God, what did he do to Iran? All that money. John Kerry's calling up Mohammed Javad Zarif. Yo, don't worry, I got this. We're gonna hold down. We're going after him. He said it. They said it. It's in the published reports. They made intimation. They intimated to Hassan Rouhani was the prime minister of Iran was here in New York 10 days ago, something like that, saying crazy stuff. Like, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, by the way, President Trump kept open the Victims Compensation Fund. That's the first responders fund. That was money for there's a fund for the families of the victims of these terror attacks and also the first responders. And the Obama Clinton crime family and the DNC, the stout jihad radicalism was shutting down the fund. What did President Trump do? He brought it back. So I mean, he's a great president, man. President Trump's going to go down as Ronald Reagan, and he's going to go down as Ronald Reagan, one of the greats. Ronald Reagan and Lincoln and Jefferson and George Washington. President Trump, man, it's amazing what he's done as a president. It's really amazing, and he's ready for war. His social media is on steroids. Let's be honest. If anybody knows, President, if people want to be honest, that's why they're worried about him too, because they're not going to be able to get rid of it. He's going after he's doing what he has to do here. He's defending this great nation. He's defending the sovereignty of this nation. In 2016, he didn't have the infrastructure he has today. He's got infrastructure today, President Trump. Oh yeah. Plus his social media, it was on fire in 16. Oh my God, what he's got there. He's got algorithms. This guy is, I'm telling you, President Trump, he's ahead. They're trying to set him up. They're trying to throw him off guard, and everybody, you can try to put him on a defensive. He's already been through it with the Russian probe. So he has it already. He has the plays in place ready to fight them. They already fought them on the Russian probe. You heard Jay Sekulow. He said it. We're ready to go. Rudy Giuliani, he says, we're ready to go on them. Rudy's contemplating whether how he's going to testify. And it's beyond belief. They're ready for them. This is going to be a bloodbath. Blood will be spilled, meaning political blood. That's what I mean, political. I don't mean violence. I mean political. A political bloodbath. That's what I mean. I don't mean, please. It's going to be a political bloodbath. Absolutely. And Trump's going to win. And it could very well be a landslide, because this whole thing, when it comes out that it's one big lie, how much more are you going to try to frame the president? I mean, think about it. The president's on the phone with a prime minister from another country, and they're leaking. Think about that. That's treason. How do you do that? Once, twice, three times, four times? Are you kidding me? CIA spies? I heard something through another source. And who does stuff like this? These are people that want to take down the president. But the president's ready. Our great president, he wouldn't be there if he couldn't handle this. For the grace of God, I believe the hand of God put him there. Thank you, Jesus, to stop the criminals from taking over the White House, which he's done, and he's going to get reelected. because he's done such a great job. And he deserves another 4 years. The job that he's done for this country. By just beating, by putting his everything on the line for this great nation, which is what he did. Because he could just, live the life he was living as a billionaire. He had a nice life. But I believe he always had his eye on the White House. And I think, I still can't get out of my head that President Trump is not like General George Patton reincarnated. It's just like we need this general, this American World War II general in the White House to save the country, to stop the criminals, to stop the lying socialists, the lying communists, because they believe if they say something loud enough and long enough, people are going to believe them because they believe we're stupid. That's what this comes down to. They believe the American people are stupid. They can run identity politics, and we'll fall for it. They'll throw Trump is dead, Trump is dead. They'll lie about President Trump. People will fall for it. Mainstream media falls over themselves when they say when the intelligence, because basically, if you really want to be honest, who's running these operations is the intelligence agencies inside this country. There's a really good group of intelligence officers, and there's a really bad group in this country. Inside the FBI, the Comey-Mueller wing of the FBI. They rewrote federal statutes. They in order not for it to come out that 9/11 was an intelligence debacle. They knew who they just bungled the FBI informants like Anwar al-Awlaki, just double banged them. So and then what happened was after it was over and we lost 5,000, because when they screw up, Americans get killed. 5,000 Americans, right? Anwar al-Awlaki, he was released in 2002. The 9/11 Imam. How does he get released? And the 1993 World Trade Center bomber, Omar Abdel-Rahman, dies in prison. I mean, he ended up getting whacked, Anwar al-Awlaki, in Yemen, because his father, because he falls into the lines of the diplomatic visas. His father was a big politician inside of Yemen with Ali Abdul Salah. Yeah. So his father had the diplomatic visa, came into America. 2 Yemen nationals gave birth to Anwar al-Awlaki, and he became the America's Osama bin Laden and 50 plus homegrown terrorists with ties to Anwar al-Awlaki. They're in the bushes, people. I'm telling you. Call me Islamophobic, call me xenophobic, call me white supremacist, loon job. I'm none of the above, but you can call me whatever you want. I believe in my heart, because look at it now. The vice chair, he almost became chairman of the DNC, swearing under the Quran, Keith Ellison. They're stealthy. They use the Quran because, you know something? They believe they did nothing wrong, as Omar Abdel-Rahman said, the blind sheik, as he's blowing up buildings, plotting to blow up more buildings, working with the Sudanese mission, working with the Sudanese national, Shadid Ali. What up, Lawrence? How you doing, my brother? Working with Shadid Ali, the Sudanese national, touring America, touring the tri-state area, looking for buildings to blow up, federal buildings, Lincoln Tunnel, Holland Tunnel, bridges to kill Americans. Yeah, where they can do the most damage. Truth be told, looking for where the infrastructure is a little down, so the explosives will be more effective. That's what this is what they do. And Andrew McCarthy, blind sheik prosecutor, testified before oversight committees. It's in the Quran. He had them on. He had the data so tight. I mean, it was unbelievable. Andrew McCarthy, blind sheik prosecutor, that he had the terror cell, the 1993 World Trade Center bombing terror cell in Omar Abdel-Rahman's in Brooklyn, in Jersey City, with Muhammad al-Nudi, Musa Abu Mazouk, right? That whole triad of terror. They would meet with the Imam, the 9/11 Imam, Omar Abdel-Rahman. He's a blind sheik. He was born blind from diabetes. He memorized the Quran, wrote, graduated with a PhD in Quranic studies from Al-Azhar University in Egypt, Cairo, Egypt. I'm telling you, man. And this guy verses of the Quran. Oh, he was just, and these people were just, he had them on tape. Andrew McCarthy had them on tape, what they would do with the Quran and the verses from the Quran, how it inspired him to kill. Sick. Telling you, man. This whole thing is coming down to that. And they're trying to stop Trump because Trump's empowering Israel. Trump is empowering the allies of America. Obama and the Obama Clinton crime family, and Bill Clinton as well, empowered our enemies. Look what we did with China. Look what we did with North Korea. And what Obama did with Iran and Russia is unbelievable. And Russia, he did it in an indirect way. By empowering Iran, he empowered Russia. And he bolstered up, by empowering Iran, he bolstered up the radicalism's position in Syria, which is where Israel's most vulnerable. Well, one of the areas, right? Lebanon and Syria. The Gaza Strip, Beirut, Lebanon, and Damascus, Syria. That's pretty much the Jordan and Egypt. The Jordan, they entered into an agreement with Israel, and so did Egypt. Egypt was, with Israel, not with Israel, and now Sisi. So now when Morsi was there, they were not with Israel. No way. They weren't with America either. Who put them there? Obama. This is classic. I'm telling you. President Trump is on a mission to make this country, to keep the momentum, making America great again, keeping America great again. President Trump is on that mission. And he has some big plans for us the next 4 years. And these people that are against America, and they're so bad that they don't care about the democratic system. They don't care about our votes. They want to delegitimize. It's late at night. They want to delegitimize our great president. Basically, take our votes away from us. Because if they, it's not going to happen. President Trump is not getting impeached. They're going to try, but he won't get impeached. They're going to try. They're going to lose in the polls. They're probably, something, there's more patriots than they want to admit. They're more patriots than they want to admit. President Trump is a great president, and there are more patriots than they want to admit. They're flooding the gates with these illegal aliens. Oh my God, what they're doing. People come here undocumented, and they're giving them municipal IDs, driver's licenses. Hey, the 9/11 hijackers had 60 plus state IDs and driver's licenses. The 9/11 hijackers. We talk about the terror cells from San Diego, San Antonio, Houston. They were the vectors are just unbelievable. And the vectors today, the 9/11 hijackers, I got it on my website. The 9/11 hijackers used that vector that we talk about all the time from the U.S.-Mexican border, the poppy fields of Mexico, El Paso, Texas. They had a jihadi training camp. I'll say it again, Siraj Wahaj, the 1993 unindicted co-conspirator in the biggest money laundering scheme for terror. 1993 World Trade Center bombing. His son is he put together that jihadi training camp. The Federalists shut that down. El Paso, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Houston, Texas. Then it goes parallel to the Cartesian coordinate system, and it goes into New Orleans, Louisiana. This vector goes from New Orleans, Louisiana, through Macon County, Alabama. That's where the other jihadi training camp by the son of Siraj Wahaj, and then past Atlanta, Georgia, through Charlotte, North Carolina, into D.C., where Anwar al-Awlaki's other mosque was. His other mosque was in San Diego. That's where it's right, not far from Mandalay Bay, right? That's another issue. Nobody knows what went down in Mandalay Bay. Big mystery, right? Then from there, from D.C., they went into the Philadelphia Hamas conference, where Hamas actually had a meeting inside of Philadelphia, the Palestinian branch of Muslim Brotherhood, plotting to take over through Muslim Brotherhood infiltration to take over this country from within. From Philadelphia, they went into the streets of New York. So the poppy fields, that's how they got their money, the streets of New York. So now the Mexican drug cartel is using that vector today to smuggle the drugs into America. That same vector that I just talked about, that the 9/11 hijackers used to blow us up. And that was all about the intelligence agencies got double banged. The FBI informants, Anwar al-Awlaki and this guy Abdul Sattar Sheikh, he was an FBI agent, and he was housing the San Diego terror cell with Muhammad Atta, Anwar al-Awlaki. It's beyond belief, right? And we talk about this whole thing on the show here up here in Brooklyn. 77 WEC was one of my homes. I did over 140 shows over there, almost 3 years. And I'm on a couch in Brooklyn, and I got my website, and we're ginning things up. I got a whole thing I'm working on, but it's going to be soon. Soon. It's going to be interesting. But tomorrow I'll know more what I'm doing. So this is where we are, and we're going to look more into this tomorrow. I want to look at the tech spy with China. So I got this California man, this Chinese. He was a naturalized U.S. citizen who entered the country on a temporary business visitor visa and became a permanent resident in 2006. He was naturalized in 2012. He was a Chinese national, right? And he gave a double agent cash in exchange for classified information on data cards. You believe this? I mean, this is like a throwback World War II. It's like it's unclear how long he's been. It's unclear, according to Fox News. It's unclear how long this Peng was operating as a spy for China, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. The FBI employed a double agent in 2015 who conducted exchanges with Peng in the San Francisco area and the Columbus, Georgia area. Over 6 occasions between 2015 and 2018, Peng would secure a hotel room and leave up to $20,000 there, authorities said. The double agent would get a key to the room, take the cash, and leave a digital card containing classified information. It is said Peng would then take the card and travel to Beijing to meet Chinese intelligence officers. This is crazy stuff. This is like World War II stuff. This is all going on, and everybody's talking about President Trump with Ukraine, and we got this China gig. Meanwhile, and they don't care. The Democrats don't care. President Trump is hitting China hard. He's hitting China hard. I mean, he's doing his diplomacy, but he's hitting them hard. He ain't taking President Trump is taking no prisoners. The FBI officials say China poses a more serious counterintelligence threat to the United States than any country in the world. That's why President Trump is doing what he's doing. He's smart. Look, and we talk about this all the time. We call it Trump's energy diplomacy. Makes us the number one. We're not dependent on the Middle East, the North African, Middle Eastern region, and we become a energy diplomat with countries throughout the world, buying energy from us. Don't buy from Russia, buy from us. So we provide them with energy, natural gas, oil, and in exchange, we're developing diplomatic ties with that country. It's a beautiful thing what President Trump's doing for us. Unbelievable. So, in addition, the FBI testified at a Senate panel that the agency had more than 1,000 investigations involving economic espionage. Listen to this, and I'm going to leave on this note. I just found this. I just downloaded this off the internet, Fox News. A Senate panel, according to the FBI director, said at a oversight committee, the agency, the FBI, had more than 1,000 investigations involving economic espionage and attempted intellectual property theft, nearly all of which led back to China. If convicted, this guy Peng faces up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine for acting as an agent of a foreign government. Beyond belief. And everybody's running around making stuff up about our president, and we got spies inside this country. And President Trump, to me, it's no accident that President Trump is taking such a hard line on China, taking a hard line, in his diplomatic circles, the way Trump does, is the way Trump's going to do. Trump's going to be Trump, right? You got China. He's giving China a pushback. Oh my God, he's putting a squeeze on Iran, and by doing that indirectly or directly, he's putting a squeeze on Russia. And those stealth jihad radicalisms, they're the other way. They're President Trump's pro-America, pro-Israel. They're anti-America, anti-Israel, pro-Iran, pro-Russia, and pro-China. Is the Democratic National Committee and the Rhino rats, the Justin Amashes, the Jeff Flakes, rats. Truth be told, man, this is crazy stuff. So, by the way, I got my disclaimer: outside looking in, no U.S. Congressional Oversight Committee, no International Atomic Energy Agency, no Joint Chiefs of Staff, no National Security Council, no access to classified docs, nor do I know anyone who's access to classified docs, court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles, and well-sourced, well-researched open-source articles. What we search for, it's a quasi-model, quote-unquote statistical significance, and no likelihood, no probability. Look for trends, differences, and patterns in the data, and then we attempt to conceivably reach reasonable, responsible conclusions. And by the way, we believe our conclusions are close. Classified information is the mean, where within the standard deviation of the mean. The Russo disclaimer. So I'm so happy I came on the air tonight, because I was contemplating, no, yes, maybe. And I was, and then when I saw that thing on TV, I said, wow. I saw this on Fox News. California man accused of spying for China. I said, this is crazy. With all this going on, they busted a California man for spying on for China. What's going on here? Right? President Trump is gonna get through this like he got through the Russian probe, and whether it's gonna be, I believe it's gonna be more like a landslide or more like 16. He's gonna win either way. But for the grace of God Almighty, I believe the hand of God, because I'm a man of Christ, I'm a man of the rosary. Yes, I am. And I believe that God's hand is on our great President Donald John Trump, and he will get reelected. They're not going to be able to stop him from running 2020. All we got to see is them on a ballot, and it's a wrap. They're going to be surprised. There's more patriots out there than they think. They're going to be surprised. I'm not just talking about white boys. I'm not just talking about white boys. They're going to be surprised. And I'm not just talking about white boys. Trump is going to win. Everybody knows they're trying to sandbag him. Everybody knows it. And everybody knows the good things that he's done for this country and this nation. And quite frankly, his family, they've sacrificed a lot too as well. But anyway, this is Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn. I want to thank you so much for you all for coming and visiting, paying me a visit, saying hello. I miss ABC. I'd love to be back on the mic over there. It'd be amazing, especially with this run. Our great president's second run for the White House, 2020, November 3rd, 2020. Trump will be there. Better believe it. Our great president, Donald John Trump. This is Frankie Russo. God bless you all in the room. Thank you for the visit. YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Thank you all for the visit. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. I want to thank you so much for your service. God bless you all. Thank you. God bless the greatest country on the planet. I love my country. God bless America. God bless the greatest country on the planet. I'm so proud and happy that I'm American. I love my country. All my family came from Italia. I like Italian food. I like Italian women. I like Italian clothes. But boy, I love America. I love my country. And God bless the greatest president on the planet. God bless our great president, Donald John Trump. This is Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn. I'm going to try to make it. If I don't make it tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night, the Yankees go on Friday. We open up against the Twins. I'll be on Wednesday night definitely because I'm working on some things, so it may take up a little more time. So I'll see how I feel, but definitely Wednesday, and then we'll be more consistent once I know what I'm doing, pretty much. All right, it's Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. This is Frankie Russo, and I'll see you either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll see you in the future. YouTube Live. God bless you all, Lawrence. Have a blessed night, and I'll see you in the future.